You are going to love this simple, tart, and zesty dish of Italian heritage. And it's a lot easier to make than many people think. Welcome to Lawyer in the Kitchen. Today we're going to make chicken piccata. Look at this. Look at these ingredients. There's hardly anything here. This is going to be easy, 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 and it's simple, 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 tasty as the devil. And all we have is this. I've got 3 chicken breasts. They're skinless, boneless. We're going to put those in the freezer first for about 15-20 minutes so they're easy to cut. We're going to pound them down a little bit with this, whatever you call this, hammer looking thing. And I've got 2 lemons, 1 shallot, 1 clove of garlic, 1 cup of chicken broth. We're going to have 2 tablespoons of capers, and I'm going to use about 3 or so tablespoons of butter that's been sitting out for about an hour so it's nice and softened. That's going to go in at the very end just to thicken this up and make it luxurious. And then we've got some flour to dredge the chicken cutlets in before we fry them. We're just going to fry them 2-3 minutes on each side. And then this sauce is just going to be glorious. So I put the chicken in the freezer 15-20 minutes just so it's easier to cut, and we'll take advantage of that time right now by getting our shallot and our garlic and our lemons ready. So we're going to mince this garlic. I'm going to cut this down pretty small, and you could put this through a little mincer, but this will be just fine. All right, so I'm going to get, because these are not, all of these ingredients are not going at the same time, and it's mostly the garlic is not going in until the very end. And this is supposed to be kind of small, but it's not, it doesn't have to be super small. That's a nice good sized shallot. Some of that's actually going to go in the bowl. Not much though, not much. So we're gonna get our lemon ready. Part of this is gonna cook with the dish, and part of it we're gonna use just for the juice. But for the part that's gonna go sitting in the dish and cooking with it, I'm gonna cut these pretty thin, about 1/8 of an inch, about like that. And we're gonna use about 4 or 5 slices. That's probably good right there. We'll use the juice from that. We need at least 1/4 cup of lemon juice. So we're going to slice these up. They've been in the fridge or the freezer for about 15 minutes. They're not frozen, but they're stiffened up about like this. And honestly, this could have been a little more frozen. So 20 minutes would have been perfect, I think. Plastic wrap. Put those down. And we want these about 1/8 of an inch. You don't have to kill them, but it's fun. Yeah, we're gonna put those in a bowl with some salt and pepper. And I'll put that pepper in at the end. And I'm leaving that fat on there because I think fat's tasty. What do you think? You good with that, Mrs. Brooks? All right. We're just going to put some salt and pepper in there and let this sit. A couple tablespoons of salt, not tablespoons, teaspoons. And a little more than 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And it's not a lot, but it'll be plenty. All right, so this is ready to sit here for just a minute, and we'll dredge this and get our pot going. All right, so we're ready to dredge, and then we're just gonna set them on a sheet with on a wire rack. And look, we're not trying to get a big coat on here. We just want to get them dusted, essentially. So just kind of dredge them. That's all we need right there. And the real purpose here is just add a little more flavor and help them brown. We're gonna let this sit for just a minute or two. We'll dust them off a little bit before we put them in the pan. We're gonna get our pan nice and hot with some oil. Although chicken piccata originated in the United States in the 1930s, almost 90 years ago, Many people believe the dish was created by Italian immigrants, likely from Sicily. Those who subscribe to the Sicilian origin largely believe so because of the tart and zesty flavors common to Sicilian cuisine. The word piccata is an Italian word that means larded, which is cooking sliced meats in a sauce containing lemon, butter, and spices. Originally, this dish was made from veal. Why? Because back then, veal was actually less expensive than chicken. We're using chicken today, and this is going to be delicious. One other thing we're going to do before we get this pan hot and the oil hot and start putting the cutlets in is I need to get this butter that's been sitting out. I got about 3 tablespoons. I'm going to cut them into thin slices because these are going to go in the sauce at the very end. I'm going to use grapeseed oil. A couple tablespoons-ish. All right, so we don't want to cook the daylights out of this because it's going to go back in the sauce to cook. And so we're looking at the most 3 minutes aside. This is kind of thin. I'd say closer to the 2-minute range. We just want to get it brown. Oh, yes, danger. Oh, that's good. Yes. All right, I got one piece that's ready to turn. It's got a nice brown to it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Others aren't quite there yet. All right, so we're going to put a little bit more oil in here, and any brown bits that we have, we're going to use. Thank you, ma'am. We're going to put a little oil in here now and get any brown bits that are going to come up. Here comes our shallots. We're going to put the shallots in for about a minute. All right, now we're going to put the garlic in for about 20 seconds. We don't want to cook this very much until we get some liquid in there because it'll get bitter. That's enough on the garlic. Now it's time to put the liquid in. So we're going to put our cup of chicken broth, our lemon juice, and our lemons that we're going to simmer for just a little bit. The capers and the parsley are going to go in at the end. So we're going to bring this to a simmer. And I am going to taste this right now just to see where our liquid is. Oh, that's lemony. Want to taste?
Ooh, that's lemony.
That's nice. I had to turn this off because my pan was too hot. So we want to bring this to a simmer, and then we're going to put the chicken back in. Let it reduce a little bit. We're going to put it in for about 4 minutes with the chicken. And then at the end, we're going to put the capers and the parsley in, take it off the heat after it's reduced enough, and then put some butter in at the very end, and this will be done. All right, so we just got this to a simmer, and we're going to go ahead and put the cutlets back in, and whatever they're not cooked, they're going to be totally cooked here because they're going to cook for about 4 or 5 minutes here in this sauce. And some of that flour that's on them is going to get into that liquid, and it's going to help thicken this up. Plus, we're going to reduce it some by just simply cooking. And we're looking for 4 or 5 minutes here. All right, so we're good and simmering. We're going to put the capers in. These are drained, about 2 tablespoons, and our parsley. And that's probably enough parsley right there. This is done. This is absolutely thick enough. Clearly off the heat now. We're going to put this butter in and just let it melt and stir this around. And the remaining heat will melt that. And this will also thicken this up a little bit more. We've got this all plated up, and we're going to try a bite right now. I don't know why I say we are going to try a bite. You're going to have a bite, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Look at that. The chicken looks juicy. I'm going to grab, I got these rustic potatoes. I like the skin on. I'm going to have a bite with that. Got a little bit of juice on there. Here comes the first bite. You're going to love this. Absolutely love this. You can taste the lemon, the browning on the chicken. The potatoes are great. This gravy or sauce is just fantastic. All right.
Ooh,
Isn't that tasty? That's good.
it's not too lemony.
No, but it's tasty as the devil. I love it. Hey, if you like this video, like and subscribe. That helps my channel. Comment, I'll respond. Send me a photo of your dish if you make one of mine. And send me a different recipe for this if you've got one. I'd like to see what you do and how you do it differently. And if you will, I'll see you next time on
Lawyer in the Kitchen.